Hey, how's it going? Fit Code. Hey, how's it going? Shelton Matsey here, fitcoderesults.com. And today I want to talk to you really briefly about pleasure and pain and how those two driving forces either A, keep us where we're at, or B, we utilize them to move us forward towards a goal. So typically, when someone has a vision of themselves, they have a goal they want to get to, they typically, and they can't move forward on that, pleasure and pain are keeping them where they're at. So say a person comes in, they're like, I want to lose weight, whether it's losing weight, finances, smoking, etc. We use losing weight for an example. They say, I want to lose X amount of pounds. Typically there's some pleasure associated with the comfort of them being where they're at. So being able to go out and have drinks with friends, eating the foods that they love, being able to go to fast food restaurants because it's nice and easy, right? Staying in bed an extra hour instead of going to work out. Those are all things that there's pleasure associated with that. And then on the flip side, there's some pain associated with the change that could potentially occur as we move forward. So the pain can be, not being able to go out consistently and have those drinks with the friends, or going out and watching your friends have drinks, going out to dinner, and instead of choosing the healthy choice while everyone else is having the mac and cheese and the fried chicken and everything else that we love, right? Not being able to eat desserts and everything as often as we could. Maybe not having the foods in the house that we know that we love, the cupcakes and the candies and the chips and things that, create those endorphins in us, right? So you have the pleasure and then you have the pain. And in between that, there's typically a reason why someone wants to make a change, right? They say it's not just to lose weight or feel better, but there's a deeper reason. So, for example, they may want to be around for the kids long term, have more energy, so they can, be vibrant on the job with friends, family. They want better self-esteem, so they can, accomplish certain things in their life, and they don't feel they have that self-esteem right now to be able to do that. So let's use the vitality, being able to live a long life for the kids and the grandkids, and being around, in your 80s and 90s and be able to have vitality. So say that's someone's goal, right? But they're doing these things over here that we just talked about, and they know that that's not going to get them from point A to point B, right? There's a gap there between what they're currently doing and their vision of themselves, right? There's sort of a values gap there. So you have to figure out where that gap is and utilize it and move forward. And then from there, you want to take pleasure and pain on the flip side of that and say, okay, if I'm where I'm at, from a pain standpoint, if I stay and continue to do the things that I'm doing, and 6 months from now, 6 years from now, how will that affect me, right? How will being in the same position, how will that feel 6 years, 6 months from now? How will that feel for me, right? How are the things that I'm doing now, how have they affected myself in the past, my family from a negative standpoint? What sort of things does that run in conjunction with the way that I view myself, right? Or the way I want other people to view me. How, if I stay on the same path, what are the consequences for my friends and family long term, right? So those are things you have to look at from a pain perspective and keep those in the forefront. And then from the pleasure standpoint, you just flip that around, okay? Once I make my changes, how will that, how will I feel? Will I have more, vibrant, be more vibrant? Will I have more energy? What will that feel like when, 10 years from now, my kids are teenagers and I'm able to keep up with them, right? I'm able to, as opposed to 10 years from now and I can barely get around, right? If, 20 years from now, I'm in my 50s, 60s, whatever, and I'm able to get around and do things that other 50 and 60-year-olds are doing. My friends, maybe just barely getting around. I may have some that are passing away, but if I'm able to get around and do the things I need to do, and people look at me like, man, you look great, you feel great, how will that feel? What will happen on the pain side? What will happen, 15, 20 years from now, if I pass away and my kids are still young? How will that feel, right? To know that I'm not able to be there as a father or a mother for my kids when they need me, right? Or for my grandkids and them not knowing me and knowing about my legacy, right? So those are the sort of things you have to ask yourself and use that as a driving force. And hopefully those things that future self that you can tap into, you can say, you know what, that's not what I want for myself. And that will be a greater driver, whether it's the pain or pleasure piece, and you can leverage that to get the results that you want, then that current pain or pleasure that you associated with change, right? So as long as we can leverage that and get where right now, pain and pleasure is keeping us where we're at, get the little seesaw, and then pain and pleasure of where we want to be, because we don't have it in the forefront of our mind, it's somewhere down here, and we can start to leverage that. And now that pain and pleasure on the other end start to push us in the right direction and towards where we want to be. All right? So with that, I'm signing off, guys. Hope you have a beautiful day. And if you need anything from me, hit me up. Shelton Matsey Fit Code Results signing off. Have a great one.